Welcome, everyone. Today we honor the life of Arthur Jones, a man whose story stretches beyond football, beyond the stat sheets, and into something deeper. A story of family, perseverance, quiet strength, and the kind of legacy that isn't written only in numbers, but in hearts. For those who followed his journey, Arthur wasn't just a defensive lineman in the NFL. He was the steady hand, the humble soul, the kind of man who earned respect not by words, but by the way he lived. Arthur Jones was born on June 3, 1986, in Rochester, New York, into a family that would one day be known for greatness. His parents raised three boys who would each take different paths in the world of sports, but it was Arthur, the eldest, who led the way. Long before his brothers John Bones Jones and Chandler Jones became global stars in their respective arenas, it was Arthur who first showed them what discipline, dedication, and sacrifice really looked like. He didn't talk about it, he lived it. Growing up, Arthur's focus was clear from the start. While other kids dreamed of the spotlight, Arthur dreamed of progress. He played sports not for attention, but because he loved competition, because he loved the feeling of pushing himself past limits. At Union Endicott High School, he became a standout athlete, big, strong, and determined. His coaches said that what made him special wasn't just his strength, but his mindset. He approached every game with purpose, every practice with intensity, and every failure with humility. Those who knew him back then could already see what he was becoming. Not just a great player, but a great man. After high school, Arthur took his talent to Syracuse University. There, his reputation grew. He became a force on the defensive line, anchoring the team with his toughness and leadership. At Syracuse, he learned what true commitment meant, balancing studies, injuries, and the grind of college football. When adversity hit, Arthur didn't fold. During his senior year, a significant knee injury threatened to derail his NFL dreams. For many, that might have been the end. For Arthur, it was fuel. He rehabbed tirelessly, day after day, determined not to let his dreams slip away. His comeback was a testament to his character, proof that hard work and faith could overcome even the hardest setbacks. Then came 2010. Arthur Jones entered the NFL draft, waiting to see if his years of effort would be rewarded. When the Baltimore Ravens selected him in the 5th round, it wasn't the flashiest pick, but for Arthur, it was everything. He had made it. The moment was validation for every early morning, every sacrifice, every struggle that had led him there. In Baltimore, Arthur joined a team known for toughness. The Ravens' defense was legendary. Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, Ed Reed, giants of the game. And yet, Arthur fit right in. He wasn't intimidated by greatness. He learned from it. He brought his own version of strength to the field, quiet, dependable, unrelenting. He wasn't the loudest voice in the room, but when the whistle blew, he was always ready. His work ethic stood out. He was the kind of player teammates respected, the kind coaches trusted, and the kind of person who never needed to be reminded of what was at stake. His finest moment came in 2013, during Super Bowl XLVII. Baltimore versus San Francisco, a night where the world watched, and Arthur Jones delivered. He recorded a sack and recovered a fumble, helping lead the Ravens to a 34-31 victory. In that moment, years of effort crystallized into triumph. He held that Lombardi trophy high, not as someone chasing glory, but as someone who had earned it through sweat, patience, and perseverance. That Super Bowl ring became a symbol of everything he'd worked for. After Baltimore, Arthur took his talents to the Indianapolis Colts, where he continued to give his all. Injuries began to test him again, but his professionalism never wavered. Even when sidelined, he was present, mentoring younger players, encouraging teammates, reminding them what true toughness looked like. His time in the league came to an end in 2017, but Arthur left the game with his head high. He had accomplished something most only dream of, playing at the highest level and leaving behind respect wherever he went. But what made Arthur special wasn't just what he did on the field. It was how he carried himself off it. He was grounded, humble, deeply connected to family. He loved his son, Arthur Jones IV, with all his heart. His family described him as a protector, a motivator, and a source of endless positivity. In a world often driven by ego, Arthur was different, content in his peace, proud of his purpose, and grateful for his blessings. He remained close to his brothers, John, and Chandler. Together, the three Jones men became a symbol of excellence, dominating in football and mixed martial arts. But behind the headlines and fame, they always remembered where it started, with Arthur, the big brother who paved the way. John has spoken openly about how much Arthur influenced his life, how watching him train, persevere, and never quit taught him what it meant to chase greatness. Chandler too credited Arthur with being his role model, his mentor, and his inspiration. The bond between the three brothers was deep, built on love, respect, and shared dreams. Then came October 3rd, 2025, a day that will forever carry sorrow. Arthur Jones passed away unexpectedly at his home in Pompey, New York. He was just 39 years old. The world of sports stood still. News spread quickly, not just among football fans, but throughout the sports community at large. Reports revealed that a defibrillator system in his home had activated, prompting emergency services. Arthur had been living with a heart condition and a pacemaker, though the official cause of death was not disclosed. His passing was sudden, leaving behind family, friends, and fans heartbroken. The Baltimore Ravens released a heartfelt statement mourning his loss, describing him as a bright light whose presence uplifted everyone around him. Teammates recalled his laughter, his warmth, and his unwavering positivity. Fans remembered his quiet toughness. Across social media, tributes poured in. John Jones, devastated, shared his love for his brother, calling him the family's foundation, the rock who held them together. Chandler Jones wrote, "You were my hero before I even knew what a hero was." Those words spoke for countless people who admired Arthur not for fame, but for who he was. Arthur Jones was the embodiment of character. His career might have been defined by hard hits and defensive stops, but his legacy is defined by compassion, humility, and heart. He taught everyone that true greatness isn't about being the loudest or the flashiest. It's about being consistent, being kind, and being the person others can rely on. His teammates described him as the glue of every locker room he entered, the one who reminded everyone what brotherhood meant. When we look at Arthur's journey, we see a man who made the most of every opportunity. From the fields of Rochester to the stadium lights of the NFL, he lived with purpose. He faced setbacks, but he never surrendered. He fought for every inch of his dream. That's what made him unforgettable, not just his power or his play, but his perseverance. Even in death, Arthur Jones leaves behind inspiration. His story reminds us of what truly matters: family, resilience, faith, and love. He showed that the measure of a man is not what he earns or how long he's remembered in records. It's how deeply he impacts those around him. And Arthur's impact was immense. For every kid who feels overlooked, for every athlete recovering from injury, for every person trying to find their way, Arthur's story stands as proof that staying humble, working hard, and believing in yourself will always lead you where you're meant to go. His journey was never about shortcuts. It was about steady, honest effort. The image of Arthur Jones, in that Ravens jersey, standing on the field, helmet in hand, smiling as the confetti fell after the Super Bowl, captures his essence perfectly. He was a man of gratitude. He was proud, but never arrogant. He understood that every victory was the result of sacrifice, and every loss a lesson in strength. Arthur's memory will forever live in his family, his teammates, and the fans who watched him play. His brothers will continue to carry his spirit into their own arenas, reminding the world of the standard he set, not through words, but through quiet, consistent greatness. So as we remember Arthur Jones today, let's do more than mourn. Let's celebrate him. Let's celebrate the boy from Rochester who became a champion, the brother who inspired 2 generations of athletes, the father who gave everything for his son, the man who carried himself with dignity, even when the world wasn't watching. Arthur Jones may no longer walk among us, but his legacy remains alive, in every heart he touched, in every life he lifted, and in every story told about him. His journey reminds us that life is short, but impact is eternal. Rest in peace, Arthur Jones. Thank you for the inspiration, the courage, and the kindness you brought into this world. You showed us that strength is not only found in muscles or medals, it's found in the heart. Thank you for watching this tribute to the life and legacy of Arthur Jones. If his story touched you, take a moment to honor his memory. Like this video, share it with those who value humility and perseverance, and subscribe to keep celebrating lives that remind us of what greatness truly means. Because heroes like Arthur Jones may leave the field, but their light never fades.